Start the record, and with that, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of Lunch and Debates. I'm your fellow co-host Dibo, along with my other co-host Matt, and finally back from a few episode hiatus. Our great friend Owen back again.
What's up, boys? Been missing in action for a while, but we're back.
Good to have you back. Good to have you back.
Appreciate it, boys.
Alongside you, we are joined by some familiar guests with Wanny and Tyler.
Big Wanny in the building. How's it going?
It's more like
Not too
Wayne.
bad. A lot better now that you're here.
You don't mean that.
There we
Stop.
go.
You're making me blush. You're making me blush.
Oh, come on. Tyler, how are you
My
doing?
cheeks are all red.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing good after a great Sunday. You know.
Yeah, shout out to Dolphins. Big win versus Dallas at home. Jason Sanders came in clutch too. I believe he had 4 field goals, including the game winner. So five of them things. Okay, 5 of them. Yeah.
And to all the Lunch and Debates watchers out there, we all hope that you had a wonderful Merry Christmas or a Happy Hanukkah or a Happy Kwanzaa. I think that was
Happy
yesterday.
holidays.
Yeah.
And Happy Holidays. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we hope you had a great festive couple of days. You know, spend
What
time
happened
with
to
the
you on
family.
Christmas? What happened to you on Christmas?
On Christmas? No, I spent time with the fam, man. I spent time with the fam. It was great. I got this Hydro Flask water bottle, great for use. Like it's.
I think you're missing.
Any other presents you want to tell the audience about?
I think you're missing.
I mean, what important detail?
Tyler, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
I know what you're talking about, Danny.
We all know what he's talking about.
We're talking about maybe like a jersey or something.
No, I mean, I'm not talking about a jersey. I'm talking more about a.
Oh,
what happens when you eat a lot of food?
Oh.
What happens when you eat a lot of food? You get full.
Dibo, what happened on the 26th, man?
Oh, that was the 26th.
That's a personal matter. We'll not get into that. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
But if we're talking about Christmas, I assume that all eyes were on the 49ers and Ravens game heading into Christmas night. Did everybody here watch that game?
I sure did.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP on the way. God bless. It's a great feeling.
That shit more important than Obama. Being for real.
It should go to the white man.
No. If Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl, then that'd be more important than Obama's presidency. No, I know that for a fact.
That MVP should go to the white man at running back, but that's for another time.
That's fair, but he's not quarterback, which sadly for the NFL voters for MVP, the MVP award, I mean the QB comes first and only first.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah.
It's an evil world we live in.
Do you think that the NFL should just create a separate award at this point?
Best quarterback and then MVP?
Yeah. Because
wouldn't it be the same as OPOY?
I mean, let's think about it then, because is there really anybody? You got to think about narrative and everything. Is there anybody more valuable to their team at this moment right now than Lamar Jackson? Seriously,
Nah.
I could think of a few names who might compete with him, like McCaffrey, or Dak.
Mahomes.
No.
Jalen Hurts.
I mean, if you're talking value of the team, Mahomes probably has to be there.
Mahomes is probably, but I would probably say Tyreek Hill too. Rashee Rice, Kadarius Toney. You got to throw out those names out there. We're talking about the most valuable players to a team. So, but I did think that if they give it, Lamar Jackson is probably the most valuable player to any team.
Yeah. I mean, you could definitely make that argument, and I wouldn't hate it.
Fair enough.
I would also think that you could throw some. If we're actually talking about like valuable player and valuable team, then I think we could actually throw some defensive players in there.
You throw Watt,
Myles
Garrett. I would even say Roquan Smith at this point. I mean, it's always been Fred Warner is the best linebacker in the league, but Roquan Smith is putting that to the test right now.
I'd still say he's 2 by a pretty clear margin, but you know.
Yeah,
I think
I would say Fred Warner. Also Max Crosby too. You gotta give Max Crosby from the Raiders some love as well. He's been great.
Max Crosby ghosting a cigar. Holy shit!
Yeah, they're gonna send that boy back to rehab.
Yeah, for real though.
That's the rule.
Chill out, man. With all due respect.
What's Thursday night this week?
Oh, please, fucking respect.
It's Jets Browns.
Please respect it.
Yeah,
your Cleveland Browns.
Joe Shiesty in the building, man. Versus
your
Jets.
Cleveland Browns will be clinching their ticket to the playoffs after a lot of people, maybe some in this call, and a lot that aren't. Andrew Perdomo. The Browns wasn't going to be there.
Casually name drop.
Said that the Browns wasn't going to be there. They said that they wasn't going to be in the playoffs, man. What happened?
They wrong.
Matt, didn't you say they missed the playoffs?
No, I had them making my wild card. But they were my last wild card team.
I think we got to run the tape back on that. I think he said we wasn't going to make it. I think we got to run the tape back on that.
All I know is that he said the Steelers have way more games than the Browns, which
I did. No, I had everybody in that division getting double-digit wins. I had the Steelers being
the only one who really
that's a miss.
Yeah.
Now the Steelers can still get double digits, right? They got 8
Steelers
wins.
can still get double digits by them having 12. Same with the Bengals. I thought Bengals would be better.
8 wins?
Steelers do have 8 wins.
They still could. They 8-7.
They can still make the playoffs.
I had Ravens winning the division, so I'll take that.
That's not happening.
That still could be in the air.
Hey, man. Hey, Tyler, do y'all job this weekend? Do y'all job this weekend for us, Tyler, please? You got us.
Hey, we're getting job done this weekend, man.
I appreciate that, man. I really do. Yeah, it's so wonderful how we can hear him perfectly and his mic's not bugging.
Who's home?
Yeah,
Tyler, are y'all home in that game?
No.
Oh,
we're away, unfortunately.
Hey, don't say ooh like the Dolphins didn't storm in their crib last year and snatch their chains.
Actually, it was at our crib.
Yeah, but this is a different year. This is a different
Last year, they went to Baltimore and beat their ass.
Yeah,
but they didn't beat their ass. They came back down 28.
What week? What week?
Week 2.
I had to remember. That was the tour game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Best games ever had, they came back like 21 down.
That shit was like Corey Brewer.
Yeah.
Dropping a 50.
That was first 4 weeks too.
Yeah.
But
shoot. Hey, bro, should we get into the main details for this episode or not?
Yeah, I think we shall.
For sure. Yeah, so usually as before, we're gonna start off with our quick news section, and then with our main segment for the day, we are going to discuss NFL quarterbacks that we could possibly give one more year to or cut heading to next year. So that's gonna be, as of right now, the agenda for the day. We cool with that?
Yeah.
Any disagreements?
Yeah. Sounds good.
That's all cool with me.
Sounds good.
All right, we all good. All in for a little bit of fun, a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of laughs. So yeah, let's get into it with the news section. And I only have one main piece for this news part, and that is obviously what we all know today. Breaking news coming out the NFL. The Denver Broncos have decided to bench quarterback Russell Wilson for the remainder of the season. Jarrett Stidham will be the backup for these last 2 games. quick pull up on ESPN right now. With next season, the off season, Wilson will make $37 million in guaranteed money if he can't pass a physical by early March. Goddamn indeed. And additionally, an injury to Wilson in the remainder of Denver's last 2 games could trigger that guarantee. So some people are saying it's because of his performance, which from this news, these details, that is not the case. It is mainly for financial reasons, similar to Derek Carr. We know that he was benched last year during his time with the Raiders as well. As you know, to say that as an example. So from this news, my question for you guys is, was this the right move?
Not to bench personally.
Hey man.
And here's my thing. I don't know. I can't remember who said it in the group chat earlier today, but somebody said it was just creating a bad culture, and I think that's what they're doing. I think that irregardless of what happens with Russell Wilson on this team, I think Sean Payton's definitely going to be here for more than 1 year, just because they did trade a first-round pick for him, and so for him to like be heading this locker room and making decisions like basically throwing the white flag in, like. I understand football is a business at the end of the day, and this probably, if we're being honest, is probably the right business decision. But like from a culture and like team chemistry standpoint, I just don't like it.
Yeah, I think that, for lack of a better term, bro, it's just pussy. I don't like it at all. It's just, why do this? You still do have a chance to make the playoffs, and you decide we're gonna tank. And this is Sean Payton continuing to use Russ as the scapegoat. I think we all saw the blow up in Detroit when he was fucking screaming at him, even though it was pretty much Sean Payton's fault why they didn't score, because if he had challenged one of those plays, if they had challenged one of those plays, you know, they would have had a touchdown. It wouldn't have changed the final score, but to blow up on Russ on the sidelines for no reason, I think this just continues to show Sean Payton that Russell Wilson was not Sean Payton's guy, and he doesn't want him there. They're gonna get rid of him, and he'll be an Atlanta Falcon or a Pittsburgh Steeler, or he'll go somewhere, and they'll end up drafting Michael Penix, and the Denver Broncos will continue to just be looking for a quarterback. Maybe Penix will pan out, but regardless, this is not the right move at all, and they're doing a future Hall of Famer completely dirty for no reason.
For real.
Tyler?
I just think it's the wrong decision, you know. I feel like Russ's performance is not terrible. It's not the best, but it's not terrible. It's not to bench him for the rest of the season, really. And to hear it coming out that after the Chiefs game that he went out there and won is when this all started. That's what you know, throwing me in the loop, because that's when their winning streak started to happen. And I feel like he was bringing the team together, if anything. And you know, it's just it just shows to go how the Broncos are not making any steps into the future. You know, they're real stagnant. It's relapsing.
Hey man, poverty teams stay poverty. I have a lot of experience with that.
Yeah.
Shout out the Browns though, Super Bowl champions on the way.
Shout out to 2024 Super Bowl champions, man.
Yeah. I don't know, but
can't really believe it. Can't believe it. All right, my thoughts. Let me start off by saying this. While I haven't been the biggest Russ fan ever since he first landed in Denver. I've thought his play over these past couple of seasons, including this year, was okay, borderline average QB play at best. And with this move financially, it makes a lot of sense because Russ's potential cap hit next year, if I'm correct, would be $85 million. And with a team in this position, right, they're depleting talent throughout many positions. We know this on both sides of the ball. So releasing him with that cap hit, it's not a good move. They wouldn't be able to do any moves in the offseason, in free agency, bringing in better guys in. So I understand that. But from a team perspective and from a winning games perspective, it's a horrible move. This completely cooks the culture. And I heard stories. Bleacher Report came up with the story that they were asking Russ to restructure his contract in the middle of the year around the second time they played the Chiefs, if I'm correct. They did that in the middle of the year when they were trying to bounce back from that skid to start off their season. That is bad. And for incoming free agents trying to be there for the next couple of seasons, they're not going to want to be there because this organization, this team, led by Sean Payton, they just did a future Hall of Famer and an all-time great mad dirty. And I know that Sean Payton and Russell Wilson, they didn't see eye to eye from the get-go. And we saw this dating back all the way to the offseason during training camp when Sean Payton came out saying that Russ needs to stop kissing babies and all that other weird stuff. Like, we knew that this wasn't a good pairing. We knew that this wasn't like it was a very weird fit. And while the winning kind of matched that, it hit those issues. With this coming out now, it's out the bag. Yeah. They're exposed right now. The drama's been leaked. It's over.
The Broncos, they've completely fucked themselves with this situation. I mean, to think about it, I don't know, since we're in Colorado and we know a lot of Broncos fans, I think that it feels a little different for us because we can see the reactions to people. I remember I was in English class. I was in AP Lit, slight flex. I was in AP Lit. I was in AP Lit, and I remember.
Didn't you fail AP Lit?
No, I got a 3 on the exam.
Class. That's how I.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
On the exam. I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up right now.
That's because that was that diversity move. That was a diversity.
Yeah, God, I just ratioed that bozo, Owen. Ratioed that bozo. I just bodied my idol for the first time. Regardless, I remember being in that class, and the Russell Wilson trade news hit. People like legit were like celebrating like they had just won a fucking Super Bowl in the class. The teacher stopped class and everything. He's like, guys, and he goes on the fucking projector and he shows us Russell Wilson traded to the Broncos, like, and everybody's like, woohoo, you know. So it's like to go from that moment to see the disaster that was last year, to see the disaster that was the first 6 games of the season this year, and then to go through that 5 or 6 game win streak that they had, and then to go to now, I would have never expected that this would be the outcome. I would have expected them to at least made the playoffs twice this year this year and last year, at least at the bare minimum, you know. But to see that he's not going to be a Bronco after just 2 years is very disappointing, and it sets a really bad precedent for the Denver Broncos moving forward.
Do you think that this was the Broncos
what
deciding between?
I'm gonna let Owen talk.
Right,
Matt, I'm sorry. I'm gonna let Owen talk for a minute. I'm gonna give him his thoughts.
With 4 people speaking before me, I think y'all mostly nailed it, but I do want to go back to Sean Payton saying he wants to build a winning culture. And I know I think it was Dibo that talked about that a little bit, but how do you build a winning culture with making a decision like that? Not even allowing your player to get the money that he originally signed the contract. You got to realize that both of them signed the contract. It wasn't just Russ, you know? Like, the Broncos organization signed that contract as well, and now they're trying to do the best they can, go through the little loopholes to back out of it. I don't think, what's the term? I don't know. I don't think allowing him to, or not allowing him rather, to get that money by not playing is the way to build the winning culture in the slightest. And it pisses me off that they do that, especially because now I know we're going to be trash for the next 5 years.
They've already been trash for like a decade.
Exactly. That's the problem.
That is true. They haven't been like Cleveland or Detroit ass, but like kind of in that.
No, it's coming, bro. It's coming.
Washington type of ass. You know.
Yeah. I was
just like when 4, 5, 6 games consistently every year, they like just teetering on that mediocrity type of phase in the league where you can't really get a high draft pick in the top 5.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My question that I was going to ask was, do you think this was basically the Broncos choosing between Russ and Sean Payton?
I guess
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because Sean Payton, obviously new head coach. They brought him in to bring a winning culture since the Peyton Manning days, right? When they last won the chip in 2016, right? Sean Payton, we know what the work he did in New Orleans, bringing them a chip, all those successful years with Drew Brees, with those offenses, right? And so for George Patton and the Broncos owners, they were just like with this decision, okay, let's bring an experienced head coach, a proven winner to help Russ and help improve this team to bring a winning culture, which we damn sure need because we haven't done shit in damn near a decade, and we need to make these fans happy because as we all know, Denver, it is a football city. These fans love their Broncos.
Not anymore.
They are passionate about their Broncos. Oh, Donnie. Okay, it might change because of the Nuggets and the Avalanche. My fault. Owen's right. That is a possibility. But historically, it's always been a football city, and they've always experienced a winning team with the Broncos dating back to the John Elway days. So, right, the move was to bring in a proven winner as their head coach, especially after Nathaniel Hackett's terrible tenure just for less than a season. So yeah, I mean, at this point, they made a decision between the head coach who they just brought in versus the quarterback, which they have a ton of money tied to, and is getting older. Russ is in his mid-30s, while he still can athletically make plays right out of structure. He's not the same guy he was back in Seattle. He wasn't the same MVP caliber player he was back in Seattle a few years back. So for the Broncos, they had to make a choice between which Band-Aid is easier to rip off, and so they picked Russ. That was easier Band-Aid.
I don't know though. I don't like the way it went down though, just because like, as Danny mentioned, like it was almost since training camp, since preseason, Russ and Sean Payton had conflict, and like I felt like Russ almost never got like a fair chance in a sense, just because the playbook was never open for him. I think like we were talking about.
I wonder why.
Game. Huh?
I wonder why.
Well, they didn't open the playbook, and they're not gonna make playoffs. Maybe they should have tried it.
I'm gonna disagree with it, bro. Look, I'm a Broncos hater to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm not is someone who will just lie on a person. Since last year, Russell Wilson has been playing in a system that is not built for him. That shitty ass West Coast bullshit offense that Nathaniel Hackett tried to run, that should have been left in the 80s where it started. Like, I don't know why they thought that would be a good idea, okay? So they had that bullshit West Coast offense. Move to this year, Sean Payton had Russell Wilson playing like he was special needs, like he was special ed. I don't know why he decided to go with that for the playbook and to run that type of offense. He didn't even give Russ the chance to try to make plays, but it seemed like what is Russell Wilson's greatest attribute? One of the best quarterbacks that we've seen at extending plays and ad-libbing on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And since he's been brought to Denver, they have refused to let him do that. And now
it's a lot of quick reads is what they give him.
They give him short field stuff that they should have been giving Mac Jones. I saw Mac Jones out here coming out in empty sets. I've never seen the Broncos come out in empty.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
But I mean, I don't know. It feels like, especially the last couple games, like that's kind of being shown. Because like to start the year, the Broncos were like a great on-script team in the first half, and then second half would come around and the offense would go away. And like the last couple weeks, what we're seeing is it's the complete reverse, where they can't get anything going in the first half, and it's all second half offense.
Yeah, I've never understood that. It pisses me off.
Regardless, the Broncos set up Russell Wilson for failure, and now they're punishing him for failing, even though they failed him. You get what I mean, bro? You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like for the Broncos. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say this is like when Tua was my fault. You got it, bro.
No. You were already going.
Wait, hold on. Danny, you go first, and then Owen. All right, we good.
Yeah, no, Danny, go ahead.
So,
I was gonna say this is like when the Tua and Brian Flores thing was happening, when they was basically just saying, Tua, you're not allowed to do anything. And we saw the effects that they had on him. He looked like a bust. They was gonna go out and try to get any type of quarterback that they could. And now look at him. They get him in an offense that's tailored to his needs, and they build around him. And he's a top 10 quarterback.
It helps when you replace him with like a top 5-8 coach.
He's nice. He really is. Anyway, what I was going to say, like for the Broncos, this past coming on 9 years that they've been terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like they've just been trying to patch leaks, and then like in hoping that in doing that, they hope that those patch leaks will get them somewhere, which it just clearly hasn't. They haven't learned, and it appears with this move they still haven't learned that, and that just makes me mad, makes me upset.
Yeah,
no,
I don't know.
That's absolutely true. I agree with you, Owen, because like I said before, the Broncos are never in the tier of being ass. Like they haven't consistently over this past decade been a top 5 worst team in the league. At worst, they're near at the very top of that top 10 worst teams. So when it comes to this year, this is the worst possible scenario for the Broncos right now, because one, they're 7-8, if I'm correct. 7 and 8.
They're 7 and 8. Yeah, they're 7 and 8.
7 and 8, right? Okay, they're 7 and 8. We already know the percentage of them making the playoffs remotely slim. They have a 5% chance. They're not gonna make it. So they're too bad enough to get a very high pick. And with the team, Russ, he got benched. He's probably gonna move away. And for the capital, they got him. They traded to Seattle to get him. For them to already move away from him year 2 in this tenure with this era, that's horrible. And your young guys offensively, like a Jerry Jeudy, even like a Javonte, last name's blanking, Javonte Williams, they plateaued with their improvement, with their development. So with the Broncos right now, they are stuck in the worst possible case an NFL team, a sports team in general, can be in, and that's purgatory, complete mediocrity.
I want to add this whenever we move on from the Broncos, but I want to kind of piggyback off of what Owen said, where it was they've kind of just been stuck, and Dibo, you were saying that as well. They've kind of just been stuck in this place. Well, after they won the Super Bowl, obviously you can't really go into a full rebuild after you win a Super Bowl. You have to kind of try a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they didn't go into a complete rebuild after 3 years or 2 years after not winning the Super Bowl, or the year after winning the Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you look at it, after John Elway retired and Shannon Sharp moved on and Terrell Davis retired and McCaffrey was gone, they kind of did the same thing where they just kind of stayed mediocre for a few years. And then they finally tanked again, and they got those picks, and they got those guys like Von Miller and Demaryius Thomas and all these great players that they had. And then they were able to go win the Super Bowl. They need to do that again. The Broncos, this is their only chance. They got to get out of cap hell with the Wilson contract. So that'll be at least a year before they can get out of that. They got to get out of cap hell, and then they got to get those high draft picks and hit on some big name players. You got to find your Von Miller, and you got to find, your receivers and everything, because Sutton and Jeudy aren't the answer.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got a long rebuild ahead of them. I don't know if it'll succeed in terms of getting a Super Bowl, but they have to rebuild. That's their only option at this point.
But I don't know. I think if you're at to add on to what you were saying, I think that if you want like a present day example, I think the New England Patriots are a perfect one. Because like the post Brady era, similar to the Broncos after the Super Bowl era, they still had a dominant defense and they still wanted to compete. So they're making all these mediocre moves. Whether it was the Cam Newton at quarterback for a year, like past his prime. Then they had the Mac Jones, where Mac Jones like looked all right as a rookie and stuff. But they kind of just were stuck in this mediocrity, had the very mediocre like offseason signings and stuff like that. And it seems like now, after 3-4 years since Brady left, it looks like now they're finally hitting that reset, rebuild button, as opposed to the Broncos, where the Broncos were just now taking Paxton Lynch and trying to still win now.
Bro, Paxton Lynch was poop, by the way. Man, I had to say that.
Where did they draft him?
Memphis.
Oh yeah, Memphis.
Yeah, man, bro, I'm sorry, but damn, that man was not good. I remember wanting to get him from his draft class a few years back, and yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. I just wanted to get that off my chest. I hope he's doing well now, though.
I think he's in the XFL right now.
Yeah, he is in the XFL or whatever league they're doing right now, because they just merged the
USFL
and XFL. Yeah, so who knows? But I hope he's doing well. Hope he's doing well.
He got first round pick money,
anything like that.
Yeah, facts.
That's true. So that's true. That's very true.
All right, should we go into the main segment?
Yeah. Let's wrap it up. Let's keep moving it on, and kind of on the same sentiment with the new section. We're gonna talk about some more NFL quarterbacks, and with the segment, like I mentioned before, we are going to discuss which quarterbacks right now you give one more year or cut. So with this list,
I guess Russell Wilson was on this list, but the Broncos already did our job.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was initially
they already made their choice
before the news. So yeah, but I have 6 more names on this list that we can debate over. So
it's what, cut one more year or extend, or just cut or one more year?
Cut or one more year.
All right.
Pretty much.
Hey, get that bitch ass dog out of here, Tyler.
It's a real ass dog right here. It's a W dog. Anyway.
That is a cute looking dog.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you, Dibo.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Anytime.
Appreciate it.
First quarterback on the list, Sam Howell from Washington.
One more year.
Cut.
One more year.
I'd say 1 more year.
No.
I'm saying cut.
I don't think so. Because 1 more year. Are you saying 1 more year as a starter or a backup? Because they have the best backup in the league right now.
Starter.
As a starter.
That's for every other QB here.
I think he should go into next year as QB1. And I love Jacoby Brissett, Browns legend, top 5 Browns quarterback since 1999.
That's not hard.
Shut the fuck up.
The bar isn't so high.
Gun to the back of your head. Name 5 good QBs the Browns have had since '99.
Baker Mayfield, those 11 games in 2020. Jacoby Brissett.
That don't count.
What?
That don't count.
Why not?
Neither of those count.
Tim Anderson.
Joe Flacco, these 4 games.
Derek Anderson for a season. Okay. Flacco. Okay, so that's 2.
Flacco. We're not counting Baker's 11 games.
I know we won't count Baker's 11, but we'll count Flacco's. It's been 4 for Flacco.
Yeah.
PJ Walker.
I was being a hater on that PJ Walker. We're gonna add Baker in there, so that's 3.
That's 3.
Damn, no Manziel.
Hell no.
Easily, he's like the worst on the list. No, I think the worst is actually, it might be Trent Dilfer. It's either Dilfer or Brady Quinn or Deshaun Kaiser. Deshaun Kaiser was bad. Deshaun Watson's worse too. No, I can't put Deshaun Watson on the list. He hasn't played enough. I can't name 3 more. I can't name 2 more.
Big fan.
Maybe like Colt McCoy once for like a few games. He was all right.
Brian Hoyer. He was good for like.
Brian Hoyer was good for a few games. Yeah. But he was
Who
carried
did Josh Gordon break the record with? Or like
Brian Hoyer.
Oh,
I think.
I didn't know that.
I think it was Brian Hoyer.
Bro, no way Brian Hoyer played for the Browns back in 2005, bro. I did not know that.
Doug Peterson played for the Browns. I think
we're shorty at the moment.
Who did he break the record with? I think it was Brian. No, I think that it was someone else.
Who's the QB when y'all had Isaiah Crowell?
Oh,
I think Josh McCown.
I think it was.
No, was it Josh McCown?
It was McCown. Regardless,
No,
none of
Isaiah
them are
Crowell was
making
there
Yeah,
the
like
best
then
two
y'all
years.
have been in
seasons.
poverty. Oh my god, I didn't realize it.
The Peyton Hillis years, man. Oh man, shout out Peyton Hillis, best
Oh.
Madden card right now, bro. He's insane.
Nah, man, bro, Matt, have you seen the jersey, the Cleveland Browns jersey? They have it at like some store in Cleveland. It's like a bunch of names on that jersey, and it extended so long down the list to where it's like completely off the jersey. It was going out to the floor.
Yeah.
Damn.
You haven't seen that?
Nah. Is it like, oh wait, is it the QB list? Like all their QBs?
Yeah, it's the QB
it like
list.
it says all their names and everything.
Uh-huh.
You've never seen it?
Well,
I don't know if that's still going, but
No, there's some people that like have them and they wear them to games and shit.
I mean, there's 4 QBs this season, right?
Yeah.
4 QBs.
3 of them were like, all right. One of them should never see an NFL field again, ever.
But he helped y'all beat the.
And if he
49ers?
does, actually, I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. If I don't care if we're in the playoffs and knock on wood that this doesn't happen. If let's say Flacco can't go for any reason, and PJ Walker is the
If a
backup,
Brock Purdy situation happens again,
I would rather the Browns just forfeit the game than have to watch PJ Walker play. I'm serious.
PJ Walker,
I
PJ
actually,
Walker beat the Niners.
bro,
Yeah,
it wasn't
wasn't
PJ
even
Walker
playing,
though. It wasn't PJ Walker though. He was there.
But he still won the game, right? PJ Walker had a
He was
game-winning
there.
drive
He
this
was
year,
at the
right?
stadium. He had a jersey on.
Yeah,
So
2
he was there.
game-winning drives. Okay, that
The
is
second one against the Colts was kind of crazy. He had a nice throw to Elijah Moore. I'm not gonna lie.
he sold against Seattle though. Yeah, Seattle.
When it fucking went off Jamal Adams' helmet and it got picked off, bro. Oh my god.
Bro, Stefanski don't trust him though. Every time PJ Walker in the game, it's like 3 runs basically.
Would you trust PJ
3
Walker?
down.
for
Would you
good
trust
reason.
PJ Walker?
Yeah,
What
with my
reason,
life.
bro? What's the
With your life.
No, I'm playing.
What
On your,
what
that
are
on
we
your
even
life
talking
is
about, bro?
crazy. We were talking about Sam Howell.
Sam Howell.
1 more year cut.
Yeah, 1 more year for sure. 1 more
One
year
more
for
year.
sure.
Yeah, I'd say 1 more year.
No.
I'm not.
They can
I'm
draft.
done,
They can
man.
draft.
I'm sorry.
If
I'm
it
sorry,
They
falls,
can't
because right
draft.
now
They gotta draft O-line.
they do got to draft a line. Their O line is awful.
Horrible.
It might
that
be
is
the worst in the
true.
league. Them and Giants.
That is true. That's very true. But if they finish top 3, I feel like they'd have to take May. I'm sorry. At this point, I feel like you'd have to take May because I don't know. Kobe Brissett in 2 straight weeks, right? When Howell got benched, the offense infinitely looked better with him on the field. And with Sam Howell, he's obviously shown flashes throughout the season, but especially right now, his confidence is shot. He's bailing out of open pockets. Doesn't have a good processor like down the field. He's having way too many turnover-worthy plays. I just feel like, especially with his status, him being drafted in the 5th round as a late round pick, it's very easy for the Commanders right now to move away from him moving forward.
Yeah. All right. Well, who's the next QB?
Next one. Oh, Danny, you're gonna like this one. Deshaun Watson.
They have no choice. We have no choice but to give him 1 more year.
1 more year.
Realistically, he hasn't played bad. Well, all right, maybe not bad, but like I seen this on Twitter today, and I saved it from my camera roll just so I can send it in the chat one day. But I guess I'll read it right now. In his last 3 full games, he completed 69% of his passes, had
Nice.
800 yards of offense, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick, and a 104 rating, which for that time was 3rd in the NFL. So over that like 3 weeks, and again, I mean it's 3 weeks, but like we got to hold on to any kind of hope that we have with him because gave up too much for him to suck. But economically, they have to let him start, so that'll be my answer. But Joe Flacco as the backup doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
That's true.
Danny,
But
actually...
like okay, but hey, let me throw a question here. Let me throw a question. So if somehow, some way, the Browns magically have a deep postseason run, a la similar to Nick Foles' Super Bowl chip run back in 2018, would it be the same situation? Could there be possibly still be some QB drama going into training camp next year?
Well, I think if that happens, I think Flacco would get a starting job somewhere. Would somebody offer 39-year-old Joe Flacco a starting job somewhere after a Super Bowl win?
No.
Denver
Broncos.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
gonna spin the block. You guys think he'd spin the block?
Spin the block, because Joe Flacco was bad in Denver.
He was terrible.
He
Yeah,
was
he
not good in Denver.
Only time he was good in Denver was
But he didn't have champagne in Denver.
Miracle. But I don't know what would happen if Flacco's on the team. Then for sure, because I don't know if you guys know, but Cleveland fans love stirring the pot with drama and shit, and they love to complain. But I think they would still start Watson. The only way Deshaun Watson does not start for the Browns is if he's hurt. If he is available, you have to put him on the field. You have to get your return on investment. If you're Jimmy Haslam, if you're Andrew Berry, you've put so much into this. You've basically made yourself look really bad in terms of the public spotlight. He has to work. And so if he's healthy or not, he's playing. Or if he's healthy, he's playing.
Can I ask you something? Because this is what I was thinking on the way to the gym. Like, I was actually literally thinking about the Browns and Deshaun Watson or Flacco. And I was like, if you could hypothetically assume that you didn't trade all of the assets and that you didn't give him, I think, $230 fully guaranteed. Like, if they had the same contract, same situation, would you rather have Flacco or Watson?
I'd pick Joe Flacco. This offense has looked over these 4 weeks. Has this offense not looked better than what it looked with Deshaun Watson?
Can I ask you something? This is the Browns championship window, right? I mean, especially next year when they get everybody healthy back, whether it's Nick Chubb, all the corners, I guess Deshaun Watson, if you want to say, but like with everybody back, right? This is the Browns' time to make a Super Bowl run. So then couldn't you like say we should be starting the best quarterback that we have right now?
You could say that, but here's what I want to say to you. I read you those numbers about Watson, whatever, and he was playing well. He was turning the corner, in my opinion. I do think he was getting back to not the guy we really traded for, but he was getting back to being an actual good quarterback in the NFL. I do think he still has a very good opportunity to like let us win. He was like what 5-1 this year with the Browns as the starter,
that was right.
And his one loss came in. His one loss was that shitty loss in Pittsburgh when he was horrible that game. There's no denying he was really bad, but
didn't he get 2
unsportsmanlike
conduct penalties that game?
I think he was like 1 away from getting ejected or something like that. Like he was really bad then. It was just a weird game, but he does give the Browns a chance to win. They were winning with Deshaun Watson.
Oh, all right, man.
Wait, what did you say?
All right, man.
No need to repeat.
No need to repeat.
Oh no!
Intrusive thoughts came in. We'll continue, Danny. We apologize.
I mean, the Browns were winning with Deshaun Watson. They won with PJ Walker. They're winning with Joe Flacco. So I think really with this defense and the way that this team is built, they're winning with just about anybody. I think just with Flacco, the way that this offense has looked, the Browns have to ask themselves, why can't Deshaun Watson look good in this offense? Why can he not look? And he's looked fine, or maybe not fine, but he's looked okay. But this offense is looking like an actual offense that is an NFL caliber, not so slow, not a lot of incompletions, not a lot of just shots that are going nowhere. An actual offense that is NFL caliber. So if we're seeing that from the TV, the Browns front office is seeing that, and they have to ask themselves, why is this offense looking this way? And they have to figure that out fast.
What do you think it is, as a Browns fan?
I don't think he trusts the offense.
Nah.
I don't think he trusts it. I think that
Stefanski or the players?
Not in terms of I think that it's more of like a maybe not trust the offense, but it's more of like a I'm
like his
Deshaun
role in the
Watson.
offense?
I think that he thinks he's still that guy from Houston where it's I can go out of structure and make any play I want to, and it's just not working for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he thinks he can kind of just do whatever he wants to do, and he's not seeing the field well at all. That's the main issue. He doesn't see the field well at all. And that's corrected something that can be corrected, but he has to correct it fast.
Yeah.
No, and I want to say one more thing with Stefanski's offense, right? The situation is very similar to Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. I mean, both Stefanski and Payton, right? They both their schemes are in structure. They want their QBs to establish the offense, establish play action, and establish these short and intermediate routes while also including the play action pass on those deep shots as well. But with Russ and Deshaun, throughout their whole entire career, they weren't considered to be quarterbacks to be in that system, right? That in-structured system. They're wild cards. They play well out of structure. They make the spectacular play. They make the play where, okay, let me find a guy and let me save time by using my legs outside the pocket in order to find a guy deep downfield to extend the play to give off these huge runs in the passing game. But so with the Browns right now with Joe Flacco, you are seeing this passing offense, especially being unleashed with him because Flacco can play well under structure, and you're seeing it with Amari Cooper, their connection. Obviously, we saw that during last Sunday versus the Texans. They both went off. I mean, Cooper, he set a franchise record in yards for the Browns franchise. David Njoku, he is emerged as a top 5 tight end this season, with Joe Flacco being put into play, with him being heavily utilized in the play action game. So I feel like right now, with what we've seen from Deshaun Watson during his tenure as a Cleveland Brown, the unstructured scheme, it's not working from him. And if he wants to become a franchise quarterback for this Browns team, if he wants to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback for this Browns team, he has to fully understand that I'm on a new team. I'm in a new scheme. A new system led by Kevin Stefanski, and me being the guy that proved himself as an All-Pro caliber quarterback, as an elite quarterback during my time in Houston, I have to adjust. I have to do better as a player.
Do you think if the Browns could go back in time and now knowing what they need at quarterback, trade for somebody else or just not trade for him to begin with?
Not trade for him. I still think they'd trade for him.
Yeah.
Trade for because who else is available? Rodgers didn't want to go to the Browns. Russell Wilson, we tried to trade for Russell Wilson in 2018 when we had the number 1 pick. He said no.
So either.
Yeah, nobody
Jimmy
really
G.
remembers that, but Jimmy G, why would we do that? No, I
Y'all
mean,
could be the new 49ers.
That you have to realize that 2020 Watson season, from a quarterback standpoint, it's over the past 5 years, it's one of the best we've seen. I know he didn't have the wins. I know he didn't have the wins, but from not even just like a statistical standpoint, from a film review or a tape standpoint, it's one of the best we've ever seen we've ever seen, but in the past 5 years, it's one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's up there. So the Browns went out and they got a guy. And I think even the Broncos, if they had a chance to redo the Russell Wilson trade, they do it. If you give yourself a chance to get a guy, you do it. Franchise quarterbacks don't just become available. So does it look good in hindsight? No, neither of them do.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say the Russ trade is worse because they gave up players, but I'd say the Watson contract is by far worse.
But a difference between the Russ situation and the Watson situation is that Russ didn't have all the media and the situation that was ongoing at that time around him.
And it's been a PR nightmare every time I wear Browns gear in public. Every time I tell my family I'm a Browns fan or something, it's hell for me, bro. It was like I used to get sympathy, people used to like go bad for me, like, oh, one day they'll win one, and now it's like, oh, you're a Browns fan. What do you think of your what do you think?
Also, let me say one thing. While I do not condone what Deshaun Watson did during that time span, like completely at all, I completely condemn that. It's kind of hypocritical as the NFL community only placing that type of hatred towards the Browns when throughout all the league there are a lot of players and even staff members, even owners that are not good people. They're
Robert
horrible
Kraft did
human
the same
beings.
thing, didn't he?
Robert Kraft did something worse. He was pimping out 16-year-olds as an 80-year-old man. Robert Kraft's not a good guy, but Robert Kraft got a dynasty on his hands, or had a dynasty on his hands.
Now he's looking for rookies, I see.
I think.
Hey, man.
Yo.
Chill out.
I was gonna say with the Watson situation, I don't think we did a good enough job of holding the Houston Texans responsible for him because they provided him with NDAs, and I think they provided him with like 20 plus NDAs. Why didn't anybody ask him, why do you need 20 NDAs, Deshaun Watson? What are you doing that you need 20 NDAs? Like once a week, he's like, hey, can I get another NDA? Can I get another NDA? Like I don't know why nobody asked or did anything.
Clear up what an NDA is.
Like why didn't anybody ask him or try to stop it earlier? But hey, we're not here to talk about whether he's a creep or not. We're here to talk about if he's a good or bad football player.
All right, who's the next quarterback?
Well, morals do matter in this situation. If we are being logical here, so all I'm saying is that every NFL team has dirt on their name, right? It happens in sports, and we've seen that obviously in the NFL, especially in the NBA right now. Like pretty much every single team has some type of dirt. So we're all guilty. Hey, it don't matter, bro.
Hey, comeback player of the year next year will feed families. That's all I know. He's never getting an award again. No. What if he gets Walter Payton Man of the Year next year for his community stuff? Did y'all see what he did?
That will never happen.
Did y'all not see what he did for the kids for Christmas?
He built him a school.
That's one thing, though.
Why was he allowed to be with kids in the first place?
He's not
from a PR standpoint, of course.
Well, but he's not like that kind of creeper, though.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like from a PR standpoint, it doesn't look good. Like
I think it's a great thing to try to do for his PR. You got to do something.
I agree with Danny here.
You got to do something, bro. You got to try to change.
That's fair. That's fair.
You got to try something, bro.
I mean, but I'm gonna tell his PR team that reputation's already gone. There's no saving it.
It's too far gone.
The memes have been made. Coming back. It's on the internet.
Oh my god!
Hey, bro. No. Tyreek Hill, bro. Hey, his PR's gotten better over the past few years. All he did was make a streaming account on Twitch and make a podcast.
I got to tell y'all this.
He's still there.
He's a likable guy. People love Tyreek. People didn't care as much when Tyreek first did it, though. Like they did for Watson.
Wait, what did Tyreek do?
Well, because Tyreek did it in college, and beat his pregnant girlfriend, allegedly. For both.
Allegedly, of course.
Stop saying allegedly, Debo. You don't have to.
Bro, that was a crazy Chiefs team.
No, from
it had to be scheming
from a judicial standpoint. I have to say allegedly.
So do we have to say allegedly for Deshaun Watson?
Yes, technically.
Yes. Is it confirmed that he did it or no?
They actually said that there's not enough evidence to say he did it.
Yeah, so allegedly.
But I mean, there's always going to be a he said, she said situation. I don't think that we've ever seen he said. I don't think that we've ever seen, he said, she 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 said times like 15. I don't think we've ever seen it. But
that's funny.
All right.
Anyway, next quarterback.
Let's talk about the law. Let's go to the next quarterback. Probably going to be our most controversial one, Justin Fields.
Ooh.
Oh, that's tough.
I think it's easy for me.
Well, then go for it.
I wouldn't cut him, but I'd trade him. And I like Fields. I love Fields. I think he's a great quarterback, and I think that he will be a great quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I think when you have the number 1 pick and a prospect like Caleb Williams is available, you take the prospect. You take Caleb Williams. No hard feelings.
Justin Fields.
Would you want to have Kenny Pickett on your team?
No, but they're gonna have Kenny Pickett for one more year.
No, it'll be Fields' team, and it's not like I'd want to have Justin Fields in the division or anything. What? No, you're crazy, bro. No way.
He almost won.
Surely not.
No, if his receivers could catch, they would have won that game by multiple scores.
Mm-hmm. No, but for me, that's why I say one more year.
I think one more year too.
Because I think you can have him as your quarterback. You obviously will have the number 1 overall pick because of the Panthers trade. I think 1, you can either take Marvin Harrison with that pick, or 2, you could trade that pick for more assets like you just did with the Panthers pick, and then you pick up Marvin Harrison later in the draft if you can trade in that area. Because a team will trade up for Caleb Williams. It's not like you have to take. It's not like they're going to take Marvin Harrison first if you know what team you're trading him to. So I think you could try to get that, and I think with your actual first round pick, I think you'd pick up like an offensive lineman or something. But I think you try to give him as many weapons. You get Luke Getsy out of there, and you give him one more year.
Yeah, I'd agree. Luke Getsy is probably the worst offensive coordinator outside of Matt Canada, but Matt Canada is not even in the NFL anymore, so it's probably Luke Getsy or whoever the Panthers.
Matt Canada not in the NFL, but the Steelers' offense still looks like they have him. Except last week. Mason Rudolph had to give his life.
Divisional game doesn't count.
Actually, yeah, I do concur with what Danny said. It kind of fluky. And
you never take what you see. You take everything that you see in a divisional game with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Broncos.
Wait, what?
Okay, buddy.
Trade him to the Broncos?
Fields? Hell no. I want to give him a shot. I want to give him an actual chance. I don't want him playing with Sean Payton. Sean Payton would call him the crazy. Let me hold that one to myself. Let me hold that.
Sean Payton would make him a pure pocket passer. What about you, Owen? Keep her one more year for Justin
Fields. I said 1 more year.
Yeah, I'm gonna say cut mainly with the same logic as Danny. Basically, with when you have such a high draft pick and you're gonna get a quarterback with a much higher ceiling, like a Caleb Williams. For me, I want the Bears to do the exact same thing the Cardinals did back in 2019 when they traded away Josh Rosen for Kyler Murray, even though I have a lot more praise and promise being put towards Justin Fields over Josh Rosen because, my God, Rosen was terrible. But I digress from that. With the Bears right now, I understand, Matt, that they have holes to fill in the offensive game with their interior O-line as well as their receiving core outside of DJ Moore. But at the same time, I just feel like with Fields, a ceiling with his game, his ceiling is much lower than a guy like Caleb Williams. To me, I feel like Caleb Williams can be a true elite quarterback in the NFL. borderline top 10. Justin Fields, while I have praised him over the past couple of seasons, I just don't see him being that guy. I really don't. So to me, yeah, I would let him go and bring Caleb Williams to this new regime.
But I think you just gotta give him one more year. I think the first year that Fields really popped off, I think Andy Dalton was the starter heading into the year before him. But once he came into the game, it was like he was having like a running highlight each week. He obviously had everybody remembers the one against the 49ers. He ran for like 150 yards or something against the Dolphins. And like we're not seeing any of that this year. And he hasn't looked bad throwing the ball this year, like compared to other years, especially the last couple of weeks he's looked better. So I think if you could get an offensive coordinator who wants to use his legs, because he is a quarterback, but the thing that makes him special is his running ability and his athletic ability. So I think you find an OC who understands that, tries to incorporate it into the system, and then now you see while teams are worried about his running ability, if he actually did become a better pocket passer.
I can agree with that, but I don't know. This new regime, I don't know how attached they are to Fields. They already gave him his shot this year when they didn't take Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud or Anthony Richardson. They already gave him his shot. I don't know if they're attached to pass up on what everybody's calling a generational prospect. I don't think that they're that attached to him because they didn't draft him. He was drafted by the previous regime. Matt
Who's
Nagy.
their GM now? Isn't it like Polis?
Ryan Poles.
Ryan Poles. Yeah.
Poles.
So they're not. I don't feel they're that attached to him, and they're going through their rebuild, and they're almost out of it to the point where they could be contenders for the NFC North title next year. Why not get them their guy? That's what I think they'll be thinking. Why not get the guy that we want in our building and just kind of restart at that position? I think that they'll keep Matt Eberflus. He's done a great job recently over the past 6-7 weeks. So they'll keep him. Ryan Poles will get to keep his job. But again, missing the playoffs, somebody has to go. Something has to change. It'll be Luke and it'll be Fields.
Oh, no, they have the clean house. They got clean house.
What if they don't like Matt Eberflus? He's not their guy. They fire him, and they bring in Ben Johnson. Would you rather keep Fields at that point, or then still trade him?
One, Ben Johnson's not taking the Bears' job. He'll have other jobs that he
hypothetical
can take.
In this hypothetical world.
Would I keep Fields if they got Ben Johnson?
Yeah,
for sure. I think every team with a quarterback would keep their quarterback if they get Ben Johnson just to see what they look like in his system.
That's fair. But no, Ben Johnson's going to a job with a lot more certainty. I agree.
Probably the Chargers' job.
Nah, I don't think he goes.
That Chargers job's overrated, I think. Outside of Herbert,
well, it's going to either Belichick or Jim Harbaugh, in my opinion.
Can we stop saying Harbaugh? That nigga is never coaching in the NFL again. Doesn't want to do it.
Definitely not. No, bro. Michigan's got Harbaugh in a lot, bro.
He doesn't want to do it, bro. He's not coming back. I think he enjoys the idea of like trolling and seeing like maybe I'll take this job, maybe I'll meet with an owner. But bro, he doesn't want to do it, bro. He's not gonna do it. Didn't he actually almost take the Colts job last year though?
Who? Harbaugh?
I remember they met with him.
Okay.
Or they requested to meet with him.
I remember that for sure. Yeah. I remember that for sure. But I'm not sure if he was a part of their final candidates. I'm not sure if he was about to take that job.
Hey, that crackhead though, he made a good choice. He finally made a good choice though. Shout out Jim Irsay. He did good. He did good, man.
Damn, I can't even. But there's also that one video of like Irsay in the locker room. He was shaking.
Clearly on coke. Clearly coked out of his mind.
Bro, he was grabbing Steichen hand, and while he was like celebrating like this, bro, and like as the video progressed, you can see Shane Steichen slowly moving his hand away from Irsay's grip, bro. It was the funniest shit ever.
Only a cokehead trades a first-round pick for Trent Richardson.
Nah, but Danny,
what up?
Ben Johnson will be in Atlanta.
I'd love it. Ooh, Justin Fields, Ben Johnson in Atlanta. Yeah, I'm there. I'm so there. I'm so there, bro. I'm so there, bro.
That's not that don't sound bad at all. I can't lie.
I'll be there no matter what. Justin
Unless you go
Fields,
to
Kyle
Carolina.
Pitts. I'd like him with Bryce Young.
I think Bryce Young would like him more.
Come on, bro.
They gotta save my brother in Carolina, man. They treating my boy.
He hooped Sunday. He hooped though. He hooped
against the Packers.
They've been doing my brother dirty his whole time there, bro. I
don't know his
like,
name, but
Adam
fired the
Thielen.
Packers defensive coordinator. That guy got
Joe Barry. That boy trash. Yeah, that boy been trash for years. That boy
for years.
Yeah. But did you know that he was a defensive coordinator for that 0-16 Lions team?
I did not.
Did y'all know that?
I did not know that.
The more you know. Straight poop. Straight poop.
Interesting.
That boy is ass.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Yeah, are we not going to talk about Jair Alexander?
Oh, he got suspended, I saw. But for what?
For the dumbest reason.
For what?
So he's not a captain, but he's from Charlotte, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted to do the coin toss for the team. And he went out on the field before the game started and did the coin toss, and he almost messed it up. He said, "We want to play defense." If you say we want to play defense, then the Panthers would have gotten the ball to start the first half and the second half.
Yeah.
So, and they went ahead and they suspended him for a game. So Jair Alexander will be traded in the offseason to where, I don't know, but he'll be traded.
I don't know if they're trading.
Top 3 to 5 corner gone just like that over a coin toss. That's crazy.
He's elite, bro. He's so good, but
he still won the game though.
I know, but
so
they have team rules. Rules is rules.
Wait, they have to trade him?
No, they don't have to trade him. They had to suspend him.
Oh,
but but they don't gotta trade him.
The Packers are a low-key dumb organization, man.
They're playing the Vikings without Jair Alexander?
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Jay Jetta's game?
So stupid.
If only I was in the fantasy championship, man.
Yeah, I wasn't from the couch.
Shoot.
Both of you.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, man. Let's move on, bro. Let's move it.
You're not winning the chip. You're not winning the chip this year. But hey, we
got move on.
Hey, I got all the injuries in the world, and I'm gonna win it.
You had all the injuries in the world. Don't start that shit. Do not start that shit.
You were healthy come playoff.
Nobody cares. But we gotta move on. We do gotta move on.
Minus Christian Watson come playoff time.
I was in Jefferson for like 10 years, bro.
But he was there playoffs. He was there for the playoffs.
Let's move on, man. Let's move on. You clearly don't respect my grind. Let's move on.
Hey, there's results for the grind.
All right. Next quarterback, Geno Smith. One more year cut.
That nigga gotta go. Get that black bitch out of here. He's going.
Damn.
I mean, it kind of depends what they do in the offseason. But probably cut. Let Drew Lock ball out or get
Bo Nix,
back.
you are a Seahawk.
Jesus Christ. Owen, your turn.
Well, Geno's kind of weird. It's definitely situational, like Matt said. Because they could keep him if they don't do anything, but obviously they should cut him if they do something. But that's really all you got to do. Or all you got to know, rather.
I keep him as a backup.
One more year.
Okay. I'm gonna say one more year. But
you're saying that because you're sexually attracted to him, Dibo. Just admit it, please.
No, I'm not, bro. You gotta
add the man in borderline elite before the year. That's a true statement.
Transitioning into
that's going to be on the big compilation, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
That is a true statement. I would not be surprised if that was on the missed compilation as well. That is a very true statement. We obviously made a video about that. We made a reel about that too. So yeah, it's very documented in lunch with the base folklore. But with my decision, I'm going to go with one more year for Geno, even though that's his last year in 2014, 2024, if he doesn't pan out as well.
What'd that say?
So that
Y'all read that?
but
that
it's
say?
mad blurred. Okay, now it's
Broncos
focused.
expected to cut Russ. They're gonna eat 85 mil. Damn.
That's so
Damn.
What else are they going to do though? Like they're just going to have this quarterback that's obviously upset on their sideline. Like,
No, trade him. I don't get why not try to trade him.
What's the trade market for us?
no
I
one
don't know
wants
what
Russ,
the
bro.
value is.
You could get a fifth. or a sixth.
Listen. Having a team eat like 20 mil of that 80 mil is a lot better than having to eat 80 mil and getting like a fifth and a sixth and like a conditional third round pick. I'd do it. I'd do it. I'm not even asking for, because you're never getting that investment back. You're never getting those 2 first round picks back. You're never getting them. Get something. You gotta walk out of here with something. Like Denzel, man. You gotta walk out of here with something, man. Yeah, you walking out of here with something.
But let's get back to Geno.
Yeah. With Geno, I'm gonna say one more year. I'm gonna give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt this year with Shane
Why am I
Waldron.
not surprised?
His play calling has been very inconsistent, very week to week. They haven't really been able to maintain a strong identity like they were able to last season, with them being able to establish the run with Kenneth Walker. And also as well, their online play has been very banged up, very inconsistent, with their 2 starting tackles, Abraham Lucas and Charles Cross, missing a ton of game time this year. So, yeah, while Geno has massively downgraded from his Pro Bowl caliber year last year, I feel like it's not all his fault. He's not really the only guy to blame for the Seahawks struggling this year from an offensive standpoint.
He's not the only
But
guy
at the same but at the same time, there is a limit with him as your quarterback, as we have seen. And so I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks were able to get a quarterback like a Penix, even like a Bo Nix as well in that first round, maybe even later, to replace Geno long term as a starting quarterback.
Yeah. No, that's what I was gonna say. I just don't think Geno fits the timeline. I mean, they have like most of their offensive weapons are on the younger side of the spectrum, with whether it's DK, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Bobo, or Kenneth Walker. And then obviously on the defense you have Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen, by the way, just completely out of their rotation now, which is interesting to see. But I think that you just try to draft a quarterback and hope that he fits the timeline better than Geno.
No, but man, I was gonna call you out on mentioning Jake Bobo, but I was about to refrain from my statement. Shout out to him, one of the best blocking wide receivers in the league already as a rookie. So salute to that brother. We salute you, Jake Bobo.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is that Seattle went on that losing streak when he wasn't getting any playing time. All I'm saying.
That is
go check.
That is a crazy agenda to
Hey, some will say it's just a coincidence, but I think it's the cause and effect.
Surely.
Nah. But Jake Bobo's cool. He's got that one good play game for a white boy.
Hey, bro, that man would be nice on the white team. He'd be nice on the all-white team for sure.
Yeah. Wait, who's the wide receiver 1 for the white team?
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp.
And then wide receiver 2.
Adam Thielen would be in the slot.
Okay. Who's wide receiver 3?
Cooper Kupp's on the outside playing against like Sauce and Pat Surtain and shit. Yeah, them boys not getting in the yard. They not getting in the yard in the pass game, but in the run game, they got us. They got us in the run game.
They got the trenches.
They got the trenches for sure. We have the D tackles, but that O line that the white boys build, bro, it's something to be fucked with. It's something to be fucked.
It's just built off pure grit and passion with desire to as well,
And
man.
Just so you know too, Josh
right?
Allen knows how to run that tush push.
They get Kyle Shanahan, right?
They get Shanahan, McDaniel, Reed.
I mean, who do we got coaching? Like Bieniemy and who else? Like defensive coordinator, we got defensive coordinator. We're good on that.
Mike Tomlin will be the head coach, and then Brian Flores will be the DC. Brian Flores will be the DC.
Okay, and then Bieniemy offensive coordinator.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's either between him or Brian Johnson from the Eagles, which Brian Johnson's like not good at all.
Yeah,
so
he's terrible.
So yeah.
Yo, you would take Brian Flores over Raheem Morris for DC?
Yes, easily.
Yeah, I would. We can have some fun with Brian Flores in that defense, blitzing like crazy. Because we can man up. We can go man to man and just blitz the whole game.
Yes, so Raheem Morris blitzes all the time too.
Not like Flores. I think Flores blitzes.
He don't go like 8 out every game, every play.
No, Flores. I think this year he's blitzing at like a historic rate or some shit. It's crazy how much they blitz.
Oh yeah, the Vikings.
Yeah, like a Brian Flores coach defense is always gonna lead the league, or even be like top 10 at worst in the most pressured rate.
So he gonna blitz the best O-line in the league.
Yeah,
of all time.
Yeah, bro, we got someone for that receiving core on the white team for sure.
Because think about it, bro. They not
Don't worry, bro. The tight ends are gonna clutch up.
Oh, they do got the tight ends that can block though.
Kittle will be our 6
block and they can catch too, bro.
Kittle, Hawkinson, and they can also put Kelsey out wide too.
Yeah.
Well, if they take Kelsey, we'll take Crosby.
It'll be a really good game. Like. I can't lie.
We take Max Crosby.
We'll take Max Crosby. I think we have to get Max Crosby.
Oh God.
I think
I agree.
I think we have to get Max Crosby.
Hey, real talk, Antonio Pierce might have to be your coach.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. He can be an assistant.
I don't hate it.
We'll put him on the coach's
don't hate it at all.
Hey, no, bro. As a Chiefs fan, I just want to give a quick shout out to Antonio Pierce. Bro, them boy, they playing for that man hella, man. Bro, top 10 defense ever since he's been the interim head coach. Obviously, on Christmas, they came into Arrowhead with ski masks on, shiesties, Air Force Ones, took all of our goods, man, all of our jewelry, completely smacked us at home. So salute to him, man. I'm really rooting for him to get that permanent job, and even also for the Raiders to make the playoffs, because with the Raiders, right, historically, the NFL is just a better product with the Raiders being a good team. Even coming that, and that's coming from me as a Chiefs fan saying this from being a Rebel fan. Like, so salute to Antonio Pierce and what he's been doing during his tenure so far, especially from Josh McDaniels that era. He shouldn't even been a head coach. So shout out to Pierce, man. Keep up the good work.
Yeah. It's Rich beside
more quarterbacks.
And you should give him the job.
So what?
Now the Raiders are low key a quarterback away from like making some shit shake in the AFC.
No, they are a quarterback away, man.
That defense is real. They got the weapons. If they get a quarterback this offseason that's capable, we might have to have some uncomfortable conversations about the Raiders.
Hey, shout out Jack Jones though for ruining that kid's Christmas. That was great.
That was so funny, bro.
No. If you on Twitter chronically like how I am, you saw that Jack Jones called people lollipops because he didn't snatch it from the kid. He gave it to the kid afterwards, but that's because a dude in the video tried to take the ball while he was trying to give it to the kid, so he pulled it away from the guy and then gave it to the kid after. But I like the storyline of they took it away from a kid way more. I think that's way funnier.
Yeah, you didn't need to talk about that first part.
I think that we should keep that for the Raiders. That just fits the Raiders' idea, like identity.
Facts.
It really does. Like, I'm a huge believer in fair and just journalism and accurate reporting. But at the same time, that story's too good and too funny to pass up with him taking the ball away from the kid. So, but we're gonna leave it at that. But
we're gonna keep it.
Yeah, we don't keep it at that. We gotta continue. We gotta wrap this list up with these last two quarterbacks. Next one, Baker Mayfield.
He's gonna get an extension. He's gonna get an extension.
He's definitely one more year for sure.
It'll be something like the Geno deal or the Daniel Jones deal, and the Browns fan, I'm happy for Baker.
Oh, you are?
Why would I not be happy for Baker?
I don't know, because I've experienced some of your comments in the past few years with Mayfield.
Look, me and Baker have had our differences. I know Baker Mayfield knows me on a personal level. He's had to have seen one of my 80,000 DMs by now. But I know Baker. We can't get into that. My lawyers told me not to comment on that. But we've had our history, me and Baker. He's put me through a lot of pain, put me through a lot of happiness as well. But it didn't work. It's like when you want that burger, nobody gonna tell you that you don't get the burger. Shout out Adrian Broner, but I know Dibo gets it. But I like Baker. I have no issue towards Baker. I hope that he does well in Tampa. If his history goes how it normally is, he had a great year this year. He'll be bad next year, and then he'll be good next year or the year after, and then he'll be bad again the year after. So, shout out Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. I will say one more year, and we're obviously doing this within our own context, but he's obviously getting an extension. I mean, he's deserved it with his production this whole entire season. So salute to him. I haven't been the biggest fan of Baker in the past few seasons, I will admit, but hey, I'm gonna give him his props. He's been a solid quarterback for the majority of the season, and for the Bucs right now, obviously they're leading the NFC South as of right now with 2 games left. I believe they're gonna win the division in the NFC South, possibly depending on who they play, either Philadelphia or Dallas. They could possibly make that a game. So who knows at this point? But as of right now, Baker has clearly proven that he is capable of being a starter for this Bucs team moving forward.
Yeah, he's definitely one more year because he's shown some good flashes this year.
Yeah. Also, quick shout out to Dave Canales. If I'm uncertain if I pronounced his name correct or not. He's our offensive coordinator for the Bucs. He did a great job, game planning with Baker throughout the year. And he's had a previously successful track record last year with Seattle too, with Geno Smith as well. So I want to give him his props too. Salute to him.
He'll get some head coaching considerations. Just want to point that out. He'll get
should be for sure. Absolutely. Okay. Last quarterback on this list. We're gonna go with Kenny Pickett.
Cut him. Fucking cut him.
We were just talking about him.
Get him the fuck out. Cut him.
But they're gonna give him one more year.
You think so? Why?
Justin Fields' team, man.
Steelers are slow with changing quarterbacks.
Not like the Broncos.
Hey, no. Look, this was a monumental year for the Steelers. They fired a coach in season for the first time since like 1946.
That is true.
Why not, go full rebuild and get Kenny Pickett the hell out of there? There's no way you can look at me with a straight face and tell me Kenny Pickett. Let's actually try this. Is Kenny Pickett top 5?
No.
Top 10?
Hell no.
Is he top 10?
We could start having debate at top 25 probably.
That's foul.
We can debate. We can start debating at top 25. That's what you're saying.
Not even top 15.
But I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. They obviously, as you mentioned, they fired Matt Canada the first time they fired a coach since like 1960s, right? You would think that for such a dramatic change to happen, that they would think that the coach is just this god awful coach. So I think they're like rationing or realizing like, hey, we didn't give Kenny Pickett a fair chance. We obviously had this horrible OC. We'll give him 1 year with the actual OC and see how he does, especially since he did get hurt too.
I think that's fair, but I think two things can be true at once. Matt Canada was the worst offensive coordinator that we had seen in a long time. Maybe not in a long time, but he was easily the worst offensive coordinator in the NFL.
Yeah.
And Kenny Pickett is not a starting quarterback in the NFL. I think those two things can be true and are true.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But I don't think that's how the Steelers are going to see it.
I think that's how they have to see it.
Like I'm saying, I agree. I think you should cut him. I don't think he's good, but like.
But you think they'll give him another
they're going to give him one more
chance?
year.
I don't know. I know the Steelers and I know their fans. They like to be competitive. They like to feel like they're the best team, and they have a track record of that. They have a very good defense, which has been up and down this year, but it's still good even though it's injured. I think he's got to go. I think they know that, and I think that they'll look at options. I don't think we'll walk into week 1 and we'll see the Steelers having Kenny Pickett as their quarterback.
I'm gonna say these last two games because I think he's supposed to come back this week. So these last 2 games are basically going to be first job.
No, he's not starting. They benched him.
Mason Rudolph's going to be the starter.
Sorry.
Yeah.
After the
this man got his job snatched from him by Mason Rudolph, bro. Mason Rudolph, who hasn't started in like a couple seasons, came in on last Saturday versus the Bengals, and the offense immediately looked better than Kenny Pickett when Kenny Pickett was starting.
Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas miracle for Rudolph.
It was a Christmas miracle. Rudolph was on the way to save Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
Maybe not because
George Pickens going to have less than 50 yards this weekend.
I also want to say on the topic of Rudolph, most overrated reindeer of all time.
Bold take.
With the red nose or what?
No. Clearly, Dasher has been the more consistent option. Rudolph just had that one Christmas, and niggas want to start throwing him in these combos like best reindeer of all time, blah blah blah. No, it's clearly
he act like he don't lead the sleigh the whole time. He's still leading the sleigh.
It's Dasher. No, Rudolph had that one Christmas.
It was a great carry job though by him. You have
he had that one Christmas. He's a system reindeer. Let's call it what it is. He's a system reindeer.
Let's not be ridiculous. You don't get the head of the sleigh as a system reindeer. That's for the reindeer behind him.
You don't. Brock Purdy was getting MVP consideration, was he not? All right.
He's not a chance he's going to get it though.
Exactly, and just like Rudolph.
Hey, but you know who did get it? Rudolph.
Come on, man. Dasher clears.
Ooh, okay.
Dasher clears.
Anyway.
No, that's funny.
Was that the last QB, Dibo? Kenny Pickett?
It was the last QB. Yeah, I wanted to I was thinking about putting in Mac Jones, but it was like
I think we know the answer for that.
Yeah, definitely
2 more years.
Nah, bro. If they don't get a top 3 pick, then probably
2 more.
What about Aiden O'Connell?
Nah, he's got to go.
I'm not
answering
that question.
He got to go.
I'm not answering that question. That boy, ain't O'Connell's. Nah, he's not good. I'm sorry.
Oh, the Chiefs were down by like 2 touchdowns, and he hadn't thrown for a first down all game.
Bro, he didn't complete a pass after the first quarter.
Good reason.
Yeah.
For good reason. The man's horrible. Like he can't move out the pocket. His athleticism is very, very weak. And even as a pure passer, you don't got the traits to be at least a Mac Jones level type of quarterback. So he's very limited. He's not gonna be even their backup, like a reliable backup in the near future.
No.
Let alone being a starting quarterback.
He'll be their backup.
I think
the team likes him. He'll be the backup. He'll be the backup for sure.
Yeah, he seems like a good guy.
No.
We giving niggas jobs off of vibes? What the fuck? No.
Story.
Man, that's how we do things around here, you know?
There be dudes who get contracts for vibes, though.
Josh Dobbs.
Usually not the starting quarterback.
Josh Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs.
Poor guy, man.
Really sweet dude. Great, seems like a great guy, very intelligent guy, but at the same time, man.
He's a rocket scientist, not a quarterback.
Getting your job replaced by Nick Bones is not a good look, my man.
Bro, Nick Mullins was slinging it last weekend.
You didn't watch the game.
Man.
There ain't
I'm
no way
sorry.
you saw the game and said Nick Mullins is slinging that bitch.
Watch that game. Bro, you
ball.
remember I was watching Vikings Lions.
Boys.
Yeah, instead of Browns, Texans
Bro, and
for
that's
some
the
reason.
conclusion. And that's the conclusion you came up with. That is
That
crazy.
Nick Mullins was slinging that bitch.
Nick Mullins
4
was slinging
picks.
it, bro.
He tried to kill
Every
Justin Jefferson
receiver on that
twice.
team had a game.
He tried to kill Justin Jefferson twice.
He did. Jay
Yo, what
Jettis
is
was
Jefferson
carrying him
saying to
too.
these quarterbacks that they keep throwing him these hospital balls, bro?
I don't know, man. Bro, that I feel so bad for the Vikings, especially with Hawkinson out too, man. And this was such a lost season for them. They honestly, with this defense improving over the past few months, they could have been easily a dark horse contender out of the NFC, especially with the Eagles and Cowboys struggling. They could have made some noise, man. It's unfortunate.
It is, yeah. Because the defense is there this year, which it wasn't last year when they were like 11-3.
Well, the skill position players are borderline
that
elite.
math don't add up.
Like the O-line's been solid, led by Christian Darrisaw. It was right there for a run, at least, man. It's unfortunate. Kirko should have been the MVP. Bro, Kirko should have been the MVP combos, man. I miss my guy Kirko so bad, man. The game misses Kirko a lot, man.
I remember when
Rodgers should have been an MVP. The way he looked on that first opening drive was phenomenal.
The way he handed the ball off?
Yeah. There was a lead. He was setting up the play action like nobody else.
All right, end the call. End the shit.
Yeah, we got.
That's my Abdul impersonation.
That's my Abdul impersonation.
The way he be riding A-Rod?
KD, bro. Oh my god, nigga, he's insane. Are y'all watching this?
KD so nice,
bitch, respect
bro.
greatness, bitch.
Because he's not wrong.
Oh, I forgot. We got another KD beat match over here.
We gotta wrap up. We gotta wrap this up. If you guys watched this video, been able to stick it around, we appreciate you guys for love and support. With that being said, follow us on all of our social media platforms on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, all at the handle @LunchOnTheBeach. Just drop a quick follow or subscribe. We appreciate the love, and yeah. Oh wait! Also, wait. Who just played that in the background?
Matt, what the fuck was that, bro?
Come on, man. Let's not.
Who played that?
Let's not lie here. So it's clearly Danny. Then, Danny, what did you play?
What?
It wasn't in my background.
So it was Owen's background.
I didn't play this thing, man.
Danny was the first one to blame me. That's how I know it was Danny.
Ooh.
I mean, I was gonna choose the black guy, but I didn't want to be racist, so I chose you.
Well, there were two.
Maybe it was Dibo. Maybe Dibo played it and then blamed one of us to make us look bad.
All right. We're done here. We gotta wrap it up. We're saying peace, y'all. We're saying peace.
All right, boys. Hey, good little episode back. Appreciate you, boys.
For sure. Oh, and also we wish y'all a happy new year heading into 2024. Salute to all y'all, man.
Sure thing.
Absolutely.
Fun one, boys.